Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 12 of Follow a Sketch February, a hop started by Sandie, which is Scrapping Reflections on Facebook, and Steakgoddess, which is right here on YouTube. And this is the perfect layout to use up scraps. However big you have, if they're small like this or even smaller like branding strips, this is a great way to use them up, and I am super excited to use up some more Echo Park scraps and product that I have. My goal is to get it out of my stash. So I have some papers, but I'm not really going to use any of those, or at least not completely. But I am going to use up a bunch of my scraps and as many stickers and embellishments as I can. So I have my papers. I have my embellishments, my scraps, my pictures, and this sketch. So let's see how this goes. Excuse me. Okay, so I decided to add some mixed media because it kind of looks on the sketch like there's using a colored background, and I didn't want that. Because there's so much color in these scraps I'm using. Some is white, some's a little bit closer to like a, not ivory, but like a dingy white. And then there's different shades of red, maroon, greens. So I really just wanted to stick with white or black. And the white was going to work best to pop everything off my page. So I did bring in to do some smishing Rustic Wilderness by Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. And then I did a little splattering of Cherry Pie Delusion Shimmer Spray by Diane Reevely. And it is a very light amount of splatter because it's red, and doing too much red splatter or smushy looks like a murder scene, and we don't want that. So I knew a lot of it was going to get covered. I really just kind of wanted a little something on the edges where the pictures are going to go. So I got that done, let that dry while I cut my pictures. I got them all to 3.5 by 5. Matted them in a very thin white border because some of the pictures, especially the bottom two, are kind of dark, especially the very bottom and the bottom part of the second picture. And so I wanted to make sure I lightened them up a little with a white border. And then I did another layer of a piece of paper that was still left in my collection. I think it's a Cartabella collection. And one side was black with stockings on it, and the other side had cut-aparts. And I don't use a lot of cut-aparts. I am going to use one and some bits and pieces of one on here. That little piece of the thing I'm holding in my left hand is actually the top part of a cut apart, and it just so happened to have a gingerbread house on it, and I thought I could go ahead and use that as one of my little tucking pieces. And it works out perfectly because I tuck it into where the little gingerbread house is just kind of right there. So I'm literally just tucking everything. Some of those papers are torn, some of them are just cut. None of them are, the same size necessarily. I really just used them as I had them, and tucked them in different places. Like I said, there's some red, there's some maroon, burgundy colors. I'm okay with that. I feel like reds really go well together. Same thing with greens. Greens typically go really well together. Most shades of green and red blend really well together, in my opinion. And because I was going to use embellishments from different collections, I figured it would bring it kind of all back around together. So it is a lot of busy. So that's why I really wanted just a solid white in the background with just a little bit of oomph for some color. And so after I get that there, I'm going to build these little clusters in the 3 places that those 3 flowers are. I kind of move the top right cluster because it's on that top corner, and I really kind of wanted it more in the midst of the layers. And so I'm going to put this one here in the top right corner down a little bit, kind of. And then I'm going to work on putting my title right in the middle where they have their title. And so I'm just using some of the flat stickers and then some of the puffy stickers and also some of the chipboard. And so you got to kind of be careful with the chipboard and the puffies because you can't really layer those. And so I put this puffy down here. It's a wreath that's got like baking things on it. And I really wanted to get this gingerbread house on here. So I moved the little puffy over, and I'm going to cover where I've torn my picture a smidge with the gingerbread house. And then I'm just going to tuck all these other little things in different places. And I love the little clusters. I got like the mixer in the bottom with a little cookie cutout, which is exactly what's happening in these pictures. Of course, you can't see the top one very well because of the glare. Sorry about that. But the top picture is my daughter and my mother, and they are rolling out sugar cookie dough. Actually, I think they are doing another recipe, which is kind of like a crispy sugar cookie. But anyway, they were making cookies. And then the next two pictures are the kids sitting around the table, icing the cookies, the sugar cookies. And then the next one is when the kids are done and the adults go do their sugar cookie icing. We end up making so many sugar cookies and the kids get tired. And so so I've kind of put it in a progression of how the events of the day went. And so for my title, I used a cut apart, said it's not Christmas without cookies. Thought that was the most fitting title. And I matted it, I fussy cut around it, matted on white, and then fussy cut around the white. And then I feel like this turned out really well. It is a lot of busy in that middle section, but I'm okay with it because it all goes together and it all kind of comes together and points to the pictures and the clusters and everything. So, and that is it. And like I said, an awesome way to use up some scraps. So if you've got a bunch of scraps for whatever it is, then this might be the perfect way to use it. So if you're looking for these sketches, go to Scrapping Reflections on Facebook and you can find them all there. And any information I have will be below in the description box. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you'll come back and see me again really soon. Hope you all have a great night. I hope you're having a good chance today to do something you love with someone you love. And happy scrapping.